Hello and welcome back to Rediscovering Foods. Today, we're exploring the incredible history and science behind one of life's greatest pleasures, ice cream. That first bite of icy, creamy, refreshing bliss. How did this simple sweet transform civilizations? The story of ice cream isn't just about sugar and cream. It's an epic tale of military logistics, thermal engineering, aristocratic luxury, and industrial revolution. We'll trace its journey from the frozen peaks of ancient mountains to the modern freezer aisle. And here's a bonus. By the end of this episode, you'll be inspired to make your own historical frozen treats, like the exquisite Persian Bastani Sonnati. Ready? Let's begin this cool journey. The crude ice mixtures of antiquity were refined during the Islamic Golden Age by Arab scholars and merchants. They created sharbat, meaning drink, by mixing ice with highly concentrated fruit syrups and exotic spices like cardamom and cinnamon. Scientifically, they discovered the secret to a smoother texture: sugar. By using highly concentrated syrups, the high sugar ratio lowered the freezing point of the water, slowing the melt and creating a more refined consistency. Sharbat spread across the Mediterranean, eventually becoming sorbet in the West. Crucially, Arab alchemists were among the first to understand and utilize the endothermic reaction, mixing salt with ice to achieve the extremely low temperatures necessary to freeze dairy mixtures slowly. This chemical knowledge was the final key to creating true cream-based ice cream. The concept of lowering the freezing point using a dissolved solute is a core principle of modern chemistry, and the Arab world mastered this through careful experimentation. They recognized that adding salt to the ice and snow mixture created an incredibly efficient endothermic reaction, drawing heat away from the contents and allowing the syrups to freeze faster and more smoothly. This wasn't merely cooking, it was applied thermodynamics, a vital step away from simple iced mixtures toward true frozen desserts. The leap from sorbet to gelato happened in Renaissance Italy. Italian chefs introduced dairy, egg yolks, and cream, mastering the complex salt and ice method to create a dense, rich texture. Gelato's secret is density. By continuously hand-churning the mixture in that freezing salt and ice environment, they incorporated less air than modern methods. While typical American ice cream can be up to 50% air, gelato is only about 25 to 30%. This low air content is what gives it that characteristic smooth, intense flavor. This culinary art was carried to the French court by Catherine de Medici in the 16th century, making frozen desserts an ultimate symbol of royal status. But its democratization came in Paris. In 1686, Francesco Procopio de Coltelli opened Café Procop, serving the first publicly available ice cream in porcelain cups. This café became a famous intellectual hub, frequented by Voltaire, whose appreciation for the dessert cemented its place in European culture. The Café Procop was a vital turning point. It transformed ice cream from an item of private royal consumption to a public commodity, accessible to the intellectual class and the rising bourgeoisie. This shift not only popularized the dessert, but also helped establish the very concept of the modern European café as a place for public discourse and leisure, all centered around a bowl of exquisite frozen dessert. The concept of iced treats goes back to 200 BC in China, but the obsession was first mastered by conquerors. Alexander the Great used ice consumption as a military logistic operation, transporting snow from high peaks to boost morale. Roman Emperor Nero solidified this luxury, ordering ice and snow from the Apennine Mountains. This supply chain made ice more valuable than gold. The Roman demand was relentless, confirming the host's wealth and ability to command resources across vast distances.
This early consumption of ice was tied entirely to power and status. The real masters of cold storage were the ancient Persians. Their massive earthen yakchal structures were masterpieces of thermal engineering. Built with a special heat-resistant mortar called sarouge, these towering domes acted as giant passive refrigerators, preserving ice well into the blazing summer. The sarouge mortar was critical, providing incredible insulation against the desert heat. The yakchal's tall, conical shape maximized the surface area exposed to cool night winds. This level of sophisticated, ancient climate control is a testament to Persia's foundational role in food science. While Europe perfected the cream base, the Far East developed unique non-dairy traditions rooted in their distinct climates. In Japan, ice was historically reserved for the elite. Nobles enjoyed shaved ice, kakigori, served with sweet syrups. The sheer physical effort required to harvest and store the natural winter ice, kori, made it an exclusive status symbol. The focus here was on extreme crystalline texture and purity. Southeast Asia, with its intensely hot and humid climate, developed rapid freezing techniques. The modern Thai rolled ice cream you see today is a descendant of this necessity. The mixture is spread onto a metal plate, cooled to an ultra-low temperature, allowing the liquid to freeze almost instantly. This rapid freezing creates minimal ice crystals, a method representing instant food science driven by climate. The flavors themselves.
While Italy focused on creaminess, the Ottoman Empire pioneered texture. Marash dondurma boasts a unique elasticity that makes it resistant to melting. This is achieved through two key ingredients. First, salub, a flour made from ground orchid roots, and second, mastic, a resin. The complex polysaccharides in salub act as powerful natural hydrocolloids. They bind water molecules tightly, preventing ice crystals from forming and giving the ice cream its characteristic chewiness. The starch derived from the orchid tubers is mostly glucomannan, known for its powerful thickening properties. This biological property not only gives dondurma its unique stretchiness, but also dramatically increases its melting point, making it the perfect street food for a hot climate. This is food preservation through botanical engineering.
The path to making ice cream a mass-market product began in the 19th century in the U.S. Nancy Johnson invented the hand-cranked ice cream churn in 1843, reducing labor. Jacob Fussell opened the first industrial ice cream factory in 1851, stabilizing the supply and transforming ice cream from an elite luxury to an affordable treat.
We've traveled the globe, tracing ice cream from Emperor Nero's court to the factory floor. But let's end where artistry met science, with the Persian masterpiece, Bastani Sonnati. Recently ranked by Taste Atlas as the best frozen dessert in the world, this golden creation is more than a treat. It's edible poetry. To achieve that rich golden color, you bloom saffron threads in water. The crucial color compounds, crocin and saffronal, are water-soluble. This step unlocks their deep hue and perfume without losing potency to heat. In a copper pot, combine milk, cream, sugar, and skim milk powder. This forms a dense base, a canvas ready for the Persian touch. Then comes salep, flour made from wild orchid roots. Its natural polysaccharides act like hydrocolloids, binding water molecules and preventing ice crystal formation. Now blend in the saffron infusion and roasted pistachios, symbols of prosperity and joy. The fragrance is intoxicating. Saffron's warmth, rose's sweetness, and the nutty depth of pistachio. Once the base thickens, cool it completely before adding rosewater. If added hot, those delicate floral molecules would vanish in seconds. Persians learned to protect aroma through patience and temperature control, a sensory chemistry long ahead of its time.
And then the genius move, kaymak flakes, a sheet of frozen clotted cream cut into delicate shards and folded into the mixture. Each flake melts differently, creating buttery bursts of texture and resisting crystallization. This is ice cream architecture centuries before refrigeration science. Freeze it for 6 to 8 hours, stirring occasionally. The texture becomes dense, elastic, and smooth, unlike anything in the West. This is Bastani Sonnati, a symphony of saffron, rose, milk, and science. A frozen poem of Persia that conquered the world. Proof that beauty and chemistry can share the same spoon.
Next time you enjoy a scoop of your favorite ice cream, remember the epic story behind it, from ancient Persia to your modern kitchen. Thank you for joining us on Rediscovering Foods. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more incredible culinary journeys. Until next time, enjoy the taste of history. Goodbye.